So now we will see display property in CSS. So guys, basically the display property is used to specify how an element is displayed on the web page. So every HTML element has a default display value, and depending on what type of element it is, the display value will be set on the web page. Now the default display value for most of the elements is either block or inline, and this we are going to check with the help of examples as well. Now the display property is used to change the default display behavior of the HTML elements. So guys, over here the first display value is the block level elements in this case. So basically a block level element always starts on a new line and takes up the full width that is available on the screen, which means it stretches out to the left and the right as far as it can. And basically these are certain examples of the block level elements over here. We have already seen that the div tag takes the entire width of the screen. Also the h1 up to h6 tags, which are the header tags, will take the entire width of the screen. So let us check these with the help of examples over here in the VS Code. So I am going to simply remove the previous lines of code in the HTML and the style.css file. So guys, over here inside the HTML file, inside the body tag, simply we are going to have the div tag in this case. So basically we are going to say this is a test div with block and then followed by hyphen, and we will say block element. So guys, basically we are going to identify that this is the block element over here, and apart from this we will also have the paragraph tag, and we will say this is a paragraph, and again we will say this is the block element. So guys, let me just save this file now and try reloading this page on the browser. So as you can see, we have this is a test div which is a block element, and it is taking the entire width of the screen, and then again we have the paragraph tag which is taking the entire width of the screen. Now guys, to understand this more clearly, let us have the background color as well, so that it looks like this is already taking the entire width of the screen over here. So in the style.css file, in this case, simply we are going to have the div tag followed by the p tag as well. So both the tags we have separated using the comma, since we are going to have the background color over here, and the same color we are going to apply. So let's say we provide the background color of yellow in this case. So guys, when you want to apply certain CSS property, that is the same CSS property to the multiple tags or the multiple IDs of the tags or any other CSS selectors of the tags, you can use these comma separated tag names or the other CSS selectors as well. So let me just save this file now and try reloading this page once again on the browser. So now as you can see, the div element and the paragraph element is taking the entire width of the screen, and this can be proved by saying that we have the background color up to the width of the screen over here, right from the left up to the right of the screen. So guys, this is the way that the block level elements work, and these are certain examples. Apart from this, we also have the headers, which are the block level elements, and then we have the form tag, header tag, footer tag, and the section tag over here. So you can try these tags as well as a homework for you and check how these block level elements work. And apart from this, we also have the second display element, that is the inline element in this case. Now guys, before moving to inline elements, let us verify the CSS properties of both these HTML tags. So simply I'm going to right click over here and click on the inspect option to see the CSS property. So as you can see already, for the div tag over here, we have the display as block, that is the default display value that is getting displayed. And let us check for the paragraph tag, that is the p tag over here. So again we have the background color that is yellow for the p tag, and then we also have the display equal to block for the p tag in this case, and automatically we also have the margins that are getting implemented over here. So guys, this is the default behavior for these tags, that is the div tag and the paragraph tag and the other list of tags that we have seen, in which case the display CSS property will be provided with the block value by default. Now guys, apart from this, let us see the other inline elements over here. So an inline element does not start on a new line, and it only takes up as much width as necessary. So guys, over here we have seen that the block element is taking the entire width of the screen, but in case of the inline element, it will only take the width as much as required by the content of that particular HTML tag. So guys, let us check that as well. Some of the examples are the span tag, and then we also have the hyperlink, that is the anchor tag over here, and then we also have the image tag. So guys, let us check the example of the span tag in this case. So what I'm going to do is simply inside the HTML file over here, we are going to define the span tag in this case, and simply we are going to say this is a span tag, and then followed by hyphen, and then we will say inline element. So guys, let me just save this file now and try reloading this page once again on the browser. So as you can see, the content is getting displayed. Currently we cannot see any difference between the span tag and the paragraph tag and the div tag, but the background color has made it more clear that both these tags are taking the entire width of the screen. We can also see whether this particular span tag is taking the entire width of the screen. Let us check that. So simply we can go to the style.css file over here, and let's say we want the same background color, that is yellow color, to be displayed for the span tag as well. So after the p tag we are going to provide comma, and then simply we are going to provide the span tag in this case. So guys, all the three tags are having the same background color, but let us see what will be the difference. So let me just save this file now and try reloading this page once again on the browser. So as you can see, the background color for this span tag is only applied up to this particular point where the content is getting displayed. So guys, basically it is not taking the entire width of the screen over here right now, but it is only taking this much space inside which the content is getting displayed. Now guys, let us provide another span tag after this first span tag over here inside our code. So what we can do is, let's say we provide a full stop over here, and then we have a space character at the end of the span tag, and let us define the other span tag, and we will say this is another span tag. So guys, basically we are defining another span tag over here, and if you notice, the content will be continued on the same line. That's because the span tags are defined as the inline elements over here, and whatever element that we define after the inline element, and if we have another inline element after the first inline element, then both the HTML elements, that is the content, will be displayed on the same line. So let me just save this file now and try reloading this page once again on the browser. So as you can see, the content of both the span tags are getting displayed on the same line. That's because these tags are the inline tags over here. Let us provide the other example, that is of the anchor tag as well. So simply I'm going to come on the next line after the full stop over here, and then we have the anchor tag in this case, and for the href attribute simply we are going to provide the hash character over here, and we will say click here as the text of the link. So guys, let me just save this file now and try reloading this page once again on the browser. So as you can see, the a tag is also the inline element tag over here, and it is getting displayed on the same line rather than displaying it on the next line. But let's say if we have another block element after this a tag, so let's say we have the header tag over here. So simply we are going to define the h3 tag in this case, and we will say this is heading 3. So guys, basically since this is the block level element, then the h3 tag content should be displayed on the next line over here after providing certain spacing on the top and the bottom. So let me just save this file now and try reloading this page once again on the browser. So as you can see, automatically the heading content is getting displayed on the next line after this inline element. So guys, this is the difference between the block level element and the inline elements over here. Basically the block level element takes the entire width of the screen, and it also provides the automatic spacing to the top and the bottom of the HTML element, whereas the inline element only takes the required space as far as its content is concerned. Now guys, apart from this, we also have something called as display none over here. So guys, to understand this more clearly, what we can do is, let's say this click here, that is the anchor tag, we get it in between both these span tags in this case. So inside this HTML code over here, simply I'm going to cut this line of code and paste it in between the span tags. So let me just save this file now and try reloading this page once again on the browser. So as you can see, we have the first span tag over here followed by the a tag, that is the anchor tag, and then followed by another span tag in this case. Now guys, let's say we want to provide display none property for the a tag. Now guys, what is the meaning of display none? Basically it is going to hide this particular HTML element from the web page. So let us check that as well. So inside the style.css file over here, specifically for the a tag, we want the display property to be set as none. So in this case we are going to provide the display CSS property and the value will be none over here. So let me just save this file now and try reloading this page once again on the browser. If you notice, currently we have the click here text, which is the anchor tag in this case. Now when we reload this page, as you can see, now it is no longer present. So guys, we use the display none property in such cases where we don't want to display the HTML element, or we want to temporarily hide the HTML element from the user in order to achieve certain functionality. So if you go to the inspect option over here, let us go to the inspect option in this case, and we will be seeing that there is the a tag over here, but it is having the display property as none. So when we uncheck this property, so again it is getting displayed right now, and then when we check this property, it is getting hidden. And one important thing that you can notice is there is no space that is left for that particular a tag, and the other inline element is taking the space for that particular anchor text over here. So guys, this is the functionality of the display none property. Now apart from this, we also have something called as visibility is equal to hidden. So guys, we have the visibility CSS property that we can use in order to hide the HTML element, but there is a difference between the display none property and the hidden value of the visibility CSS property. So let us check that as well. So instead of providing display none over here, let me just comment out this line of code, and what we will do is simply we are going to say visibility CSS property in this case, and we will say hidden. So guys, let me just save this file now and try reloading this page once again on the browser. So now if you see, instead of display property, since we are using visibility hidden, so the space that is required by that particular anchor text is still getting reserved over here, and the next inline element is getting displayed after the space that is reserved for this particular inline element over here. So guys, this is the main difference when we use the display none property. So if we check the display none property over here, the space is no longer present for that particular HTML element, but when we use the visibility hidden property, then the space will be reserved. So when we check this particular CSS property over here, so the HTML element is hidden, but the space is reserved for that HTML element. So based on your requirements, if you want to hide any of the, whether it is a inline element or the block element, you can either use display none property if you don't want to reserve the space for that particular element, and if you want to reserve that space, then you can use the visibility is equal to hidden property over here. Now guys, apart from this, we also have something called as inline block. So we have seen the block level element and the inline element as well. What is the meaning of inline block? So guys, let's say we remove the display and the visibility CSS property in this case. So guys, after removing the display and the visibility properties over here, let's say we want to apply certain height to this anchor tag. So we provide the height CSS property, and for this height, let's say we want the 50 pixels value to be provided. So let me just save this file now and try reloading this page once again on the browser. So guys, as you can see, we have provided the height of 50 pixels over here, but let us say we want to provide certain background color as well, so that we can see that height of 50 pixels. So in this case, let us say we provide the background color, and this color will be aqua color over here. So let me just reload this page once again on the browser. So as you can see, we have provided the aqua background color as well, but guys, this particular height property is not getting implemented over here, and we have this little icon in this case, and it says the display inline property prevents height from having an effect. Try setting display to something other than inline. So guys, in this specific example, whenever you want to set the width and height of the inline elements, you can make the display property of that inline element as inline block. So guys, let us check that as well. So simply inside the anchor tag, we will have the display CSS property. By default, it is set to the inline value for this particular anchor tag, but in this case we will say inline hyphen block. So guys, this is the value that we are going to use, and this value will help us in order to set the height and width for that particular HTML element. So let me just save this file now and try reloading this page once again on the browser. So now if you see, we have the height of 50 pixels that is getting displayed, and it can be proved since we are getting the background color as aqua for this particular link tag, which is having the height of 50 pixels over here. And now there is no longer any icon that is getting displayed over here, so we can uncheck the height as well. So by default it is taking the required height in this case, and when we check this option, so it is taking the 50 pixels height in this case. So guys, basically you can use the inline block display value in order to set the height and width of a particular HTML element, specifically for those elements for which the display value is inline. So guys, in this way you can use the inline and the block level elements over here based on your requirements. Comment in the comment section below whether you have learned something out of this video. Please make sure that you like this video so that it reaches to more people, and subscribe to this channel so that you get the notifications on upcoming videos as well. The next video that we are going to talk about is going to be an exercise to create the navigation bar in CSS. So stay tuned.